breakfast.
All right, here I am. Same story as yesterday. I'm running late, but that's okay because I only have to go to Conway today. I don't have very far to drive. Tomorrow I've got a lot to do, but today I'm just headed to the nursing home. One thing I want to address on this video is I know that I'm wearing the same clothes as I wore yesterday, but you've got to understand that most of the time I do my own laundry. That's the way that I prefer to do it. And most of the time, as a hospice chaplain, I don't get very dirty. The biggest the way that I get dirty, and here comes somebody they just love to pull out in front of me. It's okay, guy. He's trying to speed up. Cause anyway, the main way that you get dirty as a hospice chaplain is getting cat and dog hair all over you from visiting people. And yesterday I didn't visit anyone that had lots of cat and dog hair. And then of course when I come home, I've got chickens and goats and the dogs and horses and the cow and all that. And I sometimes take care of them, so I get dirt. But yesterday I didn't, so I just wanted to explain that. I don't want y'all to think I'm gross or anything, but I do my own laundry, trying to save on the electric and water. Today, as I said, visiting a brand new patient that is in a nursing home in Conway, and then I have a person in their home in Conway that I could possibly be visiting today. I've got to call and check on another patient that signed up, and I went over there I think Monday, and the nurse was in there visiting her, and I didn't end up visiting her. I just went to her house and left a card. So I'm just going to call and check on her. They said that they had moved to Conway from out of town. Could have been years ago, but they said that they do not have a church. They're not connected to any church since they have moved here. So just want to check on them. And that's my day. I really don't have a very busy day. I might have mentioned yesterday, but I do have a PRN. That means as needed or sort of part-time chaplain that's helping me, and he is seeing a lot of patients. But tomorrow I've got 11 patients to see. The good thing about that is most of them are right there in the same area. There's a nursing home and assisted living right across the street in Heber Springs, and most of them are right there. The other problem I face is we have my son in a homeschool co-op, and I have to take him to school all the way in Little Rock and then drive all the way to Heber Springs. I'm going to get there in time to do a gospel music and puppet show. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but I've got a puppet that I carry with me, and his name's Bobby. How about I give y'all a little demonstration? Hey, I know this is dangerous, me doing stuff like this, driving down the road, but listen, seriously, this is the road that I live on. It's a little back road, and my previous boss, she said she found one of my videos, and she said, it bothers me that you're making videos going down the road, but guess what? She's not my boss anymore. So here's Bobby. Bobby, say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. Okay. Hey, Bobby, why don't you tell us a joke? You got a joke for us, Bobby? Sure I do, Chaplain Reese. Okay, well, what is it? Hey, since it's sort of fall right now, why don't you tell us a joke that has to do with fall? Or better yet, how about scarecrows? Okay, Chaplain Reese. All right, well, what you got for us, Bobby? Make us laugh. Why did the Scarecrow win the award? Why did the Scarecrow win the award? I don't know. Does anybody out there watching this video know why the Scarecrow won the award? If you do, put it in the comments, and we'll see if you know it. But I don't know, Bobby. Why don't you tell us? Because he was outstanding in his field. Because he was outstanding in his field. Boom. All right, everybody, give Bobby a big hand. Thank you. So that's my Bobby. Take him with me to the nursing homes, and I play a series of gospel songs, mainly old hymns, And then I pull Bobby out. He tells about 5 or 6 jokes like that one. They all laugh. I do several more songs, give a short devotion with a scripture, word of encouragement, and then that's it. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow morning at about this time, or a little bit earlier than this time actually. So anyways, just enjoying the beautiful weather right here in Arkansas today on October 25th. I assume you'll be seeing this on the 26th or 27th, because I got another video coming out. It's 11:15 a.m. and it is 76 degrees, so it's extremely nice, but it's getting hot in here. I have to turn the air conditioner off whenever I'm making these videos because it's just too loud. So anyway, I'm gonna turn this off so I can turn the air conditioner on or roll the window down. So I'll let you know how the visit at I think I'm gonna go to the nursing home first. I'll let you know how it goes. All right, see you in a minute. All right, I hadn't made it to the nursing home yet, but I decided I'd turn my video on and just talk for a little while. I wanted to talk about my car that I drive. It's a 2009 Toyota Prius, and you may not be able to see because it's sort of flashing, but it's got 282,037 miles on it. One of the huge problems right now with this car is it burns, I don't know, probably a quart of oil every 500 to 800 miles. So after I drive it for about a week or so, and especially 2 weeks, man, the thing is just so low on oil. It's so low that I started buying extremely thick, cheap, it's the cheapest, it's Rotella diesel truck oil, and putting in it. I buy it by the gallon and put it in there. And I just read a post the other day about how to make it stop burning so much oil, and what I have to do, I'm going to try to do that this weekend, or this technique this weekend. What I have to do is take the spark plugs out, and after I take the spark plugs out, I've got to buy this stuff called B12 Chem Tool. It's like a carburetor cleaner stuff, and you pour down in where the spark plugs go. You pour a whole can, about evenly distributed in all 4 holes or cylinders, and you let it set overnight, and then you hand turn the motor somehow. I've got to figure out how to do that, but you hand turn the motor to where it makes all that stuff that was sitting in that cylinder go down in there. And after that, you put everything back together, and it's not supposed to burn near as much oil. So that's the plan for this weekend. Still praying and believing God for a better vehicle, but this one's actually fine for now. My wife, she's working tonight. It's a Wednesday, so unfortunately she's working tonight. We're going to church, but she's working Wednesday and then tomorrow night, because Friday, our church, I don't know if you know this or not, but I started every month, because I teach a teen class, I started our church having a youth rally the last Friday of every month, and I preach, and afterwards we rent a bounce house. People from other churches come, we have food and fellowship. It's been a really good time. Well, this Friday night we're having a fall festival, and brother Jeff from the church is bringing his truck and trailer with hay bales on it. He's going to do a hayride. We're renting a bounce house. We're going to have a bonfire and gospel music. I'm going to play my guitar. Other people play instruments. we're going to have a devotion around the fire and have snacks and things like that this Friday night. Instead of having a regular church service youth rally, we're just going to have that. So my wife is working, all that being said, because my wife is working tonight and tomorrow night so that she can be off Friday night for that. My wife, she works 2 nights a week at the Big Baptist Hospital. She's a labor and delivery nurse, but she is getting ready to turn in her sort of resignation to where she only works PRN. And I just mentioned PRN to you in the video about that's as needed or sort of part-time. And she will basically be able to work whenever she wants to at the hospital instead of having a set schedule and them saying you've got to work this time. So yeah, and I'm in Conway right now, so that's where I'm driving. This is the town that you see is Conway, Arkansas, and this town has a Baptist hospital as well, and my wife also works there, but she only works there PRN, so she gets to choose when she works there too. That's the deal. The only problem is, and you can help me pray about this if you're still watching me ramble. Here, let me turn the thing around. You can help me pray about this if you would, but because my wife started working, we were no longer eligible for the cheap insurance that we had last year. They said that we couldn't get it for that cheap anymore. Actually, they said we couldn't get it at all, and we're kicked off of it. So right now, we don't even have any health insurance. The problem is that she could get it cheap at her work for her and the kids, and I could get it cheap at my work for me and my wife. But if I put my kids on there, it'd be extremely expensive, like $800 a month. So we are trying to figure out what we should do about that situation with the insurance and her going PRN, because if she goes PRN, then you don't get any of the benefits. You don't get paid time off or vacation. You don't get to be a part of the insurance. You don't get a retirement plan, any of that stuff, okay? So that's one reason why she's sort of hanging on and saying, well, maybe I do need to keep working 2 days a week. But she's homeschooling the kids, and the people she works with up there, the nurses, even though they are labor and delivery nurses, many of them are pro-choice. They're foul-mouthed. They talk about sex. They talk about drinking. Not all of them, but the percentage of them are extremely vile women. And my wife doesn't get along good with many of them because she's a Christian and she don't want anything to do with that. So it's hard for her, and I would like for her to go PRN, but we've got some issues. So I just wanted to share that with you so you can help us pray about that. All right, I'm getting ready to pass by my office, so I'm going to try to point the camera over there so you can see what my office looks like. Actually, you know what? I'm not supposed to put anything in my videos about the name of my company, and our building has the name on it, so I can't show it to you. Sorry. All right, I'm passing by my office right now, place where my dreams came true 7 years ago. The reason why I can't say the name of my company, in my last video I bleeped it out when I accidentally said it, but the reason why I can't say the name of my company in this video is because it's against company policy. And I figure that if I were to make a video against homosexuality or something like that, then, and I was to say that I was a part of the company, then my view against homosexuality or abortion or whatever would reflect on the company, and it could make them look bad. So I guess that's why. I don't know. I did post some things years back about me working at the company, and I got in trouble for it. I got reprimanded. I didn't get a strike against me, but I got a verbal warning, and they told me to take the videos down, and I did. And now I've never said it in the video, so that's why. Thought I'd clarify. Right now, the Conway, Arkansas is known as the city of colleges, and right now I'm going past the Central Baptist College in Conway, Arkansas. That's it right there. And I'm approaching the UCA, which is University of Central Arkansas. And Sunday I was preaching I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, I was preaching, not preaching, but I sang 2 songs at a funeral at Hendrix College, which is just right on the other side of town. So that's one reason we've got a barber college here, and that's one reason why Conway, Arkansas is known as the city of colleges. But I'm just about to go through or around what's called a roundabout, and they started putting roundabouts here in Conway. I'm going to go through 2 of them. Actually, there's 2 of them. And my mom from Texas, my sister from Texas, they hate them. When they come down, they want me to drive because they're afraid they'll get caught in a roundabout. But I like them because they really speed up the flow of traffic. But anyway, since they've started putting them everywhere, and someone said instead of that, right now I'm going past the hospital, Conway Regional. That's where my daughter McKenna was born. It's right here down from my work. But anyway, let me get back to it. They said instead of it being called the city of colleges, they should call it the city of roundabouts, because a lot of people don't like them. And some people aren't used to them, and they'll get out in the middle of a roundabout and they'll stop and try to wait for somebody. And these people in Conway that are used to them get mad and start blowing their horn at them. And me, if I see somebody that's froze up or doing something stupid in a roundabout, I just stop. I don't blow my horn. If they see me or whatever, I might wave them on, tell them to go on or something. But I'm not going to throw a fit at them, because if it was me and I didn't know what I was doing, I wouldn't want anybody throwing a fit at me. But I just went through one back there one of the newest ones. All right, I'm getting close to the. Well, I might as well keep on talking. I'm sort of enjoying this, but I'm getting close right now to the high school that I passed out gospel tracts at this past Friday night. It was homecoming. So right now in this video clip, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to let you watch that video real quick. So here it is. Did you know that God has called you to be a witness? This is how to witness to more people in an hour than most Christians in their entire life. This is me at Conway, Arkansas Wampus Cats homecoming game. I passed out 180 gospel tracts in 1 hour. Subscribe and watch the pinned comment to learn more about obeying the Great Commission given by Jesus Christ. Alright, this is approaching the nursing home that I visit here in Conway. I figured I could go ahead and let you see it. It's called Heritage Living Center because it's I'm not at the patient's home, so I figured it would be okay to put it on camera. Been visiting here for a long time, and I cannot believe it, but they're having something out here. They're cooking food and stuff. And you just noticed how I had I had cereal this morning, so I'm not going to be able to eat any of their food. Maybe I can get a burger when I leave. Hey, you know what? When I was at the game the other night, wow, they don't even have a parking spot for me here because everybody's here for the food. When I was at the game the other night, I guess I just seen one person out of all those people. There was only one person that I knew, and it's this black guy that works here. He works in the back, and he's sort of a janitor. He he mops the floor and stuff like that. And sometimes he'll watch the old people back there on the memory care unit. But anyways, here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off and get in here, call this family. And that's what I do when I go and visit someone is at a nursing home, is I call the family and tell them that I'm here, and then tell them I'm leaving a business card. So that's what I'm going to do right now. It's water, Mexican water. All right, I need to share something important with you about that visit that I just had right there. Now, when I went to go call this person's family member, it's a lady, I guess I can tell you that. This lady's family member, there wasn't a spouse, there wasn't a mother, there wasn't a child, it just said friend. And sometimes when it just says friend, it's a sad situation because the individual doesn't have any family that's able to be a part of their journey, whatever you want to call it. This lady here, without giving too much information, in her mid-60s, I go in there and she's unresponsive. Sometimes in hospice we call that comatose. I got really close to her head and I called her name 3 different times, and each time I called her name I got louder and louder. No response. But listen to this. This is the way that the Lord sort of spoke to me this morning. Is I was working, trying so hard to make YouTube videos, and as I was working, I ran across a video of a guy that I'm subscribed to, and his name's Davy Boggs, and he gives a devotion every Wednesday morning. And I listen to it. And I usually don't have time to listen to his devotions. I haven't listened to one in a while, but this morning I did. And he told a story about a preacher that went and visited a woman, except she was in a hospital like the one I visited, and she did not respond, but he went ahead and he prayed with her, ministered to her, and he said that a woman from his church had asked him to go, and he didn't even tell her that she went, but that woman, the woman a week later in church, stood up and testified about how the woman who was dying in the hospital, her daughter was sitting there, and before the woman died, she sat up and said that an angel had come and visited her, and she gave her life to Jesus, and she wanted them to do the same thing. I can link that video. He tells it better. I may have told it wrong. I'll link that video in the description so you can watch it yourself. But I heard that, and then I come here, and this woman's in the same condition, so I talked to her just as if she was awake and just as if she was lost. I quoted Psalm 23, and I told her that Jesus was the good shepherd, and I encouraged her to trust in him. And when I was doing that, there was no movement, no facial expression, but all of a sudden, even though her eye was closed, I seen it twitch. Her eye twitched, which gave me an indication that she was listening to me. And I told her Jesus died for her sins and all these. She may be saved, folks. I have no idea, but she may be lost. And I just thought that was amazing that I listened to that this morning, and then I experienced it. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not proud of this, but there have been times when I've gone in a situation like that, and I was in a hurry, and I didn't take the time to minister as I should have. But I did today, and I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I had that encouragement to do so. I went ahead and I got my guitar out, and I played Amazing Grace, really slow finger picking, just a couple of verses, Amazing Grace. And when I was doing that, at the end of it, our new CNA walked in the room. And she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you." I said, "It's okay. I was just finishing up, and I put my guitar up, and I told that CNA that what I'd done, and I don't know the CNA very well. I've just met her. She's new. But I thought that was, not trying to give myself a pat on the back, but I thought it was wonderful that I was able to let the CNA know that I really do care about a person that's even not responsive. I could have walked in there, laid my business card down, and walked out. But I don't ever want to be guilty of that, okay? I don't ever want to be that selfish. And I just thank the Lord for this experience, and I know that He's got so many more for me. All right, I got to call this other family that's here in Conway and see about dropping off a business card to them. And just to let you know, that's how I sort of get my foot in the door. When I call somebody and say, "Hey, I talk about Hospice Chaplain," they might think that I'm a priest and I'm wearing a robe and I've got a rosary and I've got holy water and I'm coming in to do, that's why I say, can I just stop by and introduce myself and leave you with the business card? Now, if they invite me in, I'll come in. If they want to hear a song on the guitar, whatever. If they want me to sit there an hour, if I've got time, I'll do it. But I open it up that way so people won't feel like they're intruded on, and they can meet me and see that I'm normal in my own way. All right, I got to get off here. Talk to you later. All right, I was just on the phone with this other family that I'm supposed to go visit here in Conway. They're just a few miles down the road, but I just wanted to tell you what happened. I was so embarrassed about the phone call because I came here and visited this lady at the nursing home, and her friend that I called didn't answer. I left a message, but her friend that I called lives in Russellville. So I went and visited her, came back out, didn't hear anything, and I sat down and I called this other family and they didn't answer. And I said, "Hey, I left a message, said, hey, I was gonna come by and leave you with the business card." And then I was sitting here waiting for my visits to go through. I've got a tablet and I have to electronically document these people that I visit. And I was sitting there, my phone rang, and I answered it, and I thought that it was the woman that I just called and left a message for. And she said, I told her I'd come by, and she got real quiet for a minute and didn't say anything. Like, I was thinking maybe she didn't want me to come by, maybe they were atheists, I didn't know. And she said, "Well, I don't want you to come all the way to Russellville." No, she said, "I don't want you to come all the way from Russellville." And I thought she said to Russellville, and then I said, "Oh, who am I talking to?" Or I started looking. I just got really confused because I thought I was talking to the woman that I called first, and she thought that I was going to come out there to see her. So I got real confused and flustered, and I said, "Who am I talking to?" And I started looking. I said, "Her name is this?" She said, "Yeah." So I was just completely confused, and she thought that I was in Russellville because I have a Russellville phone number, and I've had it for years and years and years. I used to be on my mother-in-law's phone plan, so she thought I was in Russellville and didn't want me to have to drive all the way up here to see them. But anyway, I finally got that straightened out, but they're just a couple of miles up here down the road, so I'm going to go see them. I'll talk to you later. It's getting hot in here. Yeah, it's like 79 degrees today. Alright, just wanted to let y'all know that visit went extremely well. I know this sounds crazy, but sometimes when I get in a neighborhood where there's nicer homes, $300,000 homes and way on up past that, I get a little bit nervous. I get to wondering, well, are these people going to be receptive? Are they going to be welcoming to an old country boy like me? But this lady, the dad, was not responsive. I mean, he had his eyes closed, and he almost sounded like he was laying there listening, but he wasn't responding to anything. And hang on just a second. I'll tell you the rest of it, man. I got to get off here. I think I'm gonna go visit a guy I know, Brother Morris, and I got to get directions to his house. All right, I got that set up. I'm gonna go visit Brother Morris. But I got in there, and they were just extremely nice people. She said that her dad, the man that I was visiting, he was a part of a ministry. He wasn't a preacher, as far as I know, but he helped out at like a homeless shelter in Little Rock. And he would sing, and she sang, and her mother, who passed away a few months ago, she would sing. And just she said, my dad told me, or my dad, since we lost my mom 3 months ago, just a few weeks ago, my dad asked me if it was okay for me to go, for him to go and be with mom. And just a wonderful testimony of a life lived for God. And even though the daughter was sad, you know, she knows where her dad's going when he dies. And there's just so many instances that I go in, and it's completely different. Lost, just a wrecked life of sin and sadness. So I was able to I played the guitar. I played I'll Fly Away, and she actually stood on the other side of the bed and sang along. And then I played Amazing Grace, and I quoted Psalm 23, and then had a word of prayer with him. And even though that individuals are non-responsive, you know, I just another testimony of go ahead and talk to them, go ahead and play for them. And I'm glad I got to meet that family. It was a great blessing. So that went well, and now I'm going to go and visit Brother Morris, who is a man in our church who has been suffering from cancer for quite a long time. He has a daughter who lives in Little Rock. You know, she lives actually the other side of Little Rock. She lives close to an hour away, and he sits over here by himself most of the time. And anytime I get a chance, I try to go by and visit and fellowship with him, because he's just a good brother, and I love him, and I appreciate being able to know him. So I'm going to stop by there, and then I think I'm going to go by the office, and then I got to go home, and I've got a lot of the documentation from these visits. I have to sit down and I have to write down explaining the visit, and just give some accountability there, and put my mileage in, things of that nature. So that's what I'm going to do this evening after I finish up these couple of tasks. Alright, this is Brother Morris's house. See that house there? Burned down. They're rebuilding it. But since he's not a hospice patient, I can just sort of do a little video of me pulling up here. He may not even be home. He's got lots of doctor's appointments because he had cancer and got rid of it, and it came back. So yeah, I just wanted to finish up this video for the day after I went and visited with Brother Morris. Came on home. Brother Morris, he was doing about the same. He had esophagus cancer and went through treatments, and it came back, and now it's lower in his esophagus. He needs prayer. He's going to chemo treatments every Tuesday, but he skips the third week. So he needs prayer for that. He can't eat, can't drink. He's been on a feeding tube at home for months and months So please pray for him. He's a wonderful man of God and been a good friend to me. Needs prayer because if this chemo treatment doesn't work, there's nothing that they can do. I'll be seeing him. I'll be going to see him not as a friend, well, obviously friend, but I'll be going and visiting him on official business with hospice. So pray for him. I'd like to see God heal him. He has been able to drive to church Sunday morning, last Sunday, and he's hoping to come this Sunday. He can't drive at night because of his eyes. So pray for him. I came home and completed some paperwork, even though it's on a tablet. I call it paperwork, and just a really wonderful day. God blessed me today and helped me today. And then my wife spent some time with her because she's working right now at the hospital. And went to church tonight. Had a wonderful, wonderful service. Just a long period of time of worshiping the Lord Jesus Christ. And when He inhabited our praise, then we felt something out of that. And I just feel completely refreshed by the wonderful service we had. We had a visiting preacher, young evangelist named Carson Cheek, and he just got up and exhorted a little bit, and we worshiped some more. But it was a wonderful service. It was a longer service, and when you have those longer services because of worship and not because of the long-winded preacher, it's always good. So I'm getting ready to edit this video for tonight and go to sleep. It's late. It's 9:57. I got to get up extremely early in the morning because I'm taking my son to Little Rock in the morning. So I just wanted to share the update with you for today. I love you and appreciate you, and thank you for watching. God bless. I was wanting you to see my fish aquarium here. I've had this fish aquarium in here since January. It's see, how many gallons is this? I think it's 20 gallons maybe. These fish are called black skirt tetras. All right, good night.